Hello, my name is Julia Unel and I'm a naturalist at Walter B. Jacobs Memorial Nature Park, which is one of Caddo Parish parks. Welcome to an introduction to acrylic painting program. Today we're going to paint this is the bird that we're going to paint today, Cedar Waxwing. The substrate is a 6x6 hard canvas, and the brushes that we're going to need are a big flat brush, a number 2 filbert, a liner, and 2 flat brushes, small and smaller. The paints that we're going to need are permanent black, titanium white, leaf green, which is dark green, and lily pad green, a cocoa brown, but if you have raw sienna, you can use that, burnt umber, cadmium yellow, and red, and baby blue. As usual, I draw a sketch with proportion indicators to make it easier for you to draw your sketch on your canvas. This is 6x6, a piece of paper. Okay, imagine a clock in the middle of your 6x6 canvas. 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and 3 o'clock. And imagine the straight line that goes right through the bird in the middle is from 11:30 to 5:30 approximately. Imagine a straight line there, and here is the head. It is 1 inch wide, and then the neck, a rectangle. This is 3/4 of an inch, and the body will be 3 inches, and the tail is 1.5 inch. Okay, if you're ready, let's begin. Very, very light blue, kind of like the sky blue. I'm going to put some green to this corner. Very, very light lily pad green, because I'm going to make some plants here. It's going to be on a branch, so okay, I'm going to draw the silhouette of the bird first. Let's imagine the size of this bird. Flat head. Kind of like this. Beak. Cocoa brown. Okay, first we draw the silhouette of the bird. And then we're going to put the darker and lighter parts, shades and lights, and tones of color later on. We're going to work so the first position has to be right. I think this is right. Okay, I'm going to switch to my smaller brush, my liner. the black the beak. I'm going to draw the beak very carefully, smaller first. I can always make it bigger if necessary. I think this is good for the beak. And then this continues. Let me draw the eye of the bird. So the bird's beak is that way. This black. This is just like a mask. The eye is right here, and the eye is inside this black, so I have to arrange the blacks. Eye is right here. Beak is supposed to be a little bit higher. So this is like this. I'm going to paint this white to correct this. After this white dries, I'm going to keep on painting. I'm going to do the rest of the head. It continues like this. Too thick. Just around here, there's a white line. Just go ahead and put those. There's a lighter color here. I'm preparing the basis for the lighter color. And now I can go ahead and paint the head. This is not so flat, it is a little bit. Yes, this is good. I'm going to switch to filbert number 2. This round top brush, if you don't want to see brush strokes, and that's exactly what you don't want to see in while painting Waxwing, Cedar Waxwing, because it is so smooth. You can hardly see any discrepancy on this bird. It is so smooth in real life. It looks like it is waxed, in fact. So that's why I'm going to use my filbert to get rid of these brush strokes. I want it to look as smooth as possible. Some more cocoa. And there's a shadow right here at the back of the head. And then right here, starting from under the beak, this is darker. I use burnt umber for the darker parts, and I keep going back and forth for the shades of brown between cocoa and burnt umber. There's a white line here, that's why I'm leaving that part lighter. And then just keep painting down for the rest of the body. In this part, color changes a little bit. Yes, let me get rid of, while I'm painting the body, I'm trying to get rid of the discrepancies, because as I start doing the details, I see some mistakes, and I'm going to paint the mistake part in white, and then I'm going to paint it later after the white dries. It's easier to cover. So the wing starts right here. The bottom part of the body is basically grayish. So I'm going to start doing the wing with gray, mixing titanium white and black. I'm still using the filbert. I'm using its flat side to kind of draw the thinner lines. Okay, we're drawing the wing now. The wing. Goes all the way here to the tail. And then there's a short part of the wing here with gray. And then there's another, the same short part is here with gray. And it continues. The middle part of these two parts is even lighter gray. I'm going to just go ahead and paint this whole thing lighter gray, and then I will add the darker parts. I'm going to correct this mistake. The wing finishes here. And this part tail fans out like this. Now I have to blend in this brown and the gray. So I'm going to back and forth. I'm sure going to kind of play a little bit with this. I'm still using filbert because I don't want any brush strokes visible here. I'm trying to get rid of the the abrupt transitions. And I'm going to now add the details. Start working on the details, because the general streamline of the bird is like this. I think this is good enough. Yes. Okay, I'm going to take my liner again. Okay, here for one thing, there's a yellow, its chest, abdomen is yellow, very light yellow. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that here. Even lighter, to make it even lighter. I can work on this later on. When we do the final touches, we will make these while you're putting all these bases of the details. There's a lighter part here, yellower, kind of overflows around the wing. And likewise, let's do the wings. And around here, I'm going to do the long feathers first. Very slightly. Okay. It goes up to here. And then there's a patch of short feathers here, which comes from here. And there's a darker part here, gray. And then there will be a light, very bright yellow at the tip of the tail. Okay, now there are two white lines right here. Oops, this goes that way. This white line goes. These lines are not this thick. There is a very light Now the feathers are coming from here, like this. And same, likewise on the other side, same way. These are all the feathers, flight feathers coming down, like that. We're going to paint in between. This is all in between is gray part of the feather. The other side too, very, very light gray. You have to be very careful. This is not absolutely gray. I'm just mixing gray with a little bit of burnt umber for this part, because the tip of the feathers change They're not pure gray, they're brownish a little bit. Okay, that's that. If I have to zoom in to the wing, it looks like this. Let me keep it here for a while until we finish this part, because now we're going to do this part. End of these feathers are, of course, gray. And I might work on this to blend in this part with the brown, but let's put these birds have very bright red on the tip of their feathers here. Very bright red. Before that, I would like to put, let's do the white edge to this. And here. These two are parallel lines almost to each other. I'm going to go over these white lines one more time because these are very sharp white. And I'm going to go back to my filbert because I want to blend in these up and down before I finish the details here. And then I'm going to paint, and then I'm going to,
This is cocoa brown right now.
work the middle, this part, gray and brown to blend in. Now I'm going to take very little gray, going all the way up. So it has to blend in with this brown here. Maybe a little bit more brown here. Oops, gray. In between these whites, it's neither gray nor brown. It's almost in between, just the blending site. This is too gray. I'd like to soften up the edges of this gray too, kind of. I'm just using white now to, these feathers here are visible. Okay. And the top part is slowly blending with the brown. Same here. These are the white edges of these flight feathers here. And it just blends in with the rest of the, okay? Now the red spots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, at least 6 of them. One at the tip of each. And here is lighter yellow. So I'm going to make this lighter by adding some white here. Okay, there's a yellow line, yellow tip at the tail, bright yellow, and I made this part lighter yellow. And there's a very thin line on top of the head. I'm very carefully painting that. Okay, so there's a very thin white line, yellowish, not really white, but yellow line, very, very thin yellow line here. I'm going to make it a little bit brighter yellow. It's not thick, it is a very, very thin line. Like that. And let me work on the beak a little bit. The eyes a little bit. I'm going to make it round, white, and then I'm going to paint the middle of that white in black, and the edges will look like the rim of the eyelids. This is really black here. The beak is, the beak is a little bit bulkier. They are fruit eaters. Cedar waxwings are fruit eaters. They eat berries. This is not that thick. I'm gonna and let's make this very, very thin. Like that. And I'm going to make this white line thinner, just like I did the top part, by keep painting until it is as thin as I want it to be. Like that. Okay, and now I'm going to do the eye really dark, but I'm going to leave the edges, very thin white line at the edges. You can see the eye. And let's put the light into the eyes, which is here where the beak is. Not so visible. Its beak is shiny too. I'm going to repaint and blend in all these corrected edges. Okay, now we're going to do the feet and the branch that it is sitting on, and we will be done. He's sitting on a pine tree branch.
You know, pine needles are never single. There are either 2 in a bundle or 3 or 5. For example, ponderosa pine in California have 3 needles to a bundle. Some white pines have 5 needles per bundle.
Okay, we're gonna put the lights later. Let's put some dark brown for the branch. Let's put some lighter greens here and there. I'm done with the branches. Now I'm going to, well, let's add some darker parts. Let's add some a little bit black, mix black with this to make these darker. Let me make these tips a little bit pointier. Okay, let's do the leg. The tree width. I think we're done. Well, we have completed an introduction to acrylic painting program. With the Cedar Waxwing, we have completed the third of the 4 songbirds. So far, we have painted all the same canvas, 6x6 hard canvas, a black-capped goldfinch, and then we have painted a Carolina wren, and the third one is Cedar Waxwing, and we will paint one more songbird, and we will have completed our set of 4. Thank you for joining me. See you next time.